It Happened on the Job, the podcast for relatable conversations with contractors. Sponsored by Goodman Insurance.
Welcome to It Happened on the Job, episode 142. Today, my name is Mike. That's Brian.
Yo!
Today's episode is brought to you by the Buildsters. Check out thebuildsters.com to find out how to become an accredited Buildsters Pro member today. You'll instantly become a part of a network of the best suppliers, manufacturers, and contractors in the industry, where you'll have the opportunity to showcase your work to thousands of qualified buyers. Stop paying for leads that don't convert and become a Buildsters Pro member today.
Yeah.
Welcome, Ivan Montano.
What's up, Ivan?
Montano.
How are you, man?
Hey, good.
I keep wanting to say Montano, but I think that might be like Portuguese, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good, though. It's pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
Good,
VP
good.
of Operations at Leading Edge Construction. Thanks for joining us today and hanging out for. Appreciate it.
No, definitely. Thank you guys for the invite. I mean, really excited to be here. Pretty much give you guys a little bit of our background and history, and pretty much walk you guys.
Yeah, that's what we're all about, man. We want to know your story.
Thank you for the invite.
What you guys do.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
So let's get right into it. What's your story? How did you get into this, and how did you get to where you are now?
Oh man, it was just came up about 10 years ago. Pretty much, you want to join construction. We have an open position as a laborer, and pretty much I fell in love with the industry and it just took off from there. I started working on the field position as a laborer. Started working my way up as an apprentice, foreman, superintendent. Got to a position to be a construction manager, project manager. So I mean, being involved with the industry for over 10 years now. So it's kind of been a good career. I mean, just seeing all the moving aspects and parts that go into the industry, meeting different people on a day-to-day basis. It's always about making an impact, always in a good way. So here we are 10 years later. I'm Vice President of Operations at Leading Edge Construction. We are a family operated and owned business based out of the San Jose and Bay Area. We specialize in homeowners associations work, any reconstruction projects, any new builds, litigations, and so on. We actually have systems in place with Procore technologies that help us manage our projects and also keep up to the day-to-day demands in the industry. Nowadays, we have a lot of innovations and, tablets, it's everything.
Right.
They go to. So we are getting different training methods for our guys to go through. Same thing, they're being certified, they're learning the system, they're getting hands-on with technology, documentation, and so on. So, they're making a change on the industry and also on the homeowners and the persons that we work with on the day-to-day basis. They like to see all that. So they get an email at the end of the project or in progress pictures, and everything's backtracked in their system. So it's going.
Yeah. So when you say homeowners association work, what are you guys doing? Like new construction work, or how does that? I mean, if you're working, I assume you're working directly for the association, right? Not necessarily the homeowner.
Yes. So homeowners association goes back to townhomes, condominiums, communities that are over 1,500 or even 400 units. And
when they have like reconstruction projects or remodel projects, when they're trying to redo the whole facility.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
Re-roofing projects, painting. Right now, something that we're working with directly is balcony recoats or even reconstruction as well. There's a new law with the SB 326 where structural members are known, to failure due to waterproofing systems or deficiencies between any other components. And that's pretty much where we come in and perform inspections with the engineers, provide the scope of work, go through the planning portion of it. So, I mean, even from interior remodels to major size reconstruction projects, it's some sort of what we're working with.
Yeah.
The HOA world.
That's well, and it's smart, right? Because it's kind of I don't want to say job security, but in a sense, it kind of is, right? I mean, those especially where you guys are at, so densely populated. Those type of housing
Master plan communities.
Yeah, they're all over the place, and they only get older as time goes on, right? And like you said, codes change and things change. So Yeah, I mean, it's a smart industry to be in if you can get your way in. It seems like you. I mean, you seem really really young to already be in it for 10 years. I mean, was it right out of high school? Did you say, hey, this
Yeah,
looks like the
yeah.
path for me?
Yeah, I started right off of high school. Pretty much just doing side jobs here and there, little fence replacement and a little bit of painting here and there. And all of a sudden, I got the opportunity to join a company, which we just took on from there. I started seeing how the superintendents used to present themselves to the owners or to the
Right.
clients. Working with the engineers, architect, it just kind of drew me into it. Seeing all the moving parts that go into one small project, it's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So yeah, man, started
Well,
at
and I think that's important to kind of point out, right? Because there's so many kids that think that college is the way that they have to go out of high school, right? And not realizing that there's a career path outside of going to college. So just to kind of illustrate that a little bit, I mean, obviously you're VP of operations, right? You started swinging the hammer and hanging the drywall and painting, doing all that kind of stuff. And 10 years later, the VP operations, but there's a lot in between. So just for context, how long did it take you to get from, the labor, just starting with this company up to, say something like a superintendent or foreman or a superintendent?
Okay, so for a superintendent position, it took me about 5 years.
So that's amazing. I mean, that's what needs to be heard, right? Especially to get some of these kids that maybe
Oh
college
yeah,
isn't their thing. I mean,
and definitely, I mean, if you have the drive and the initiative to learn from others, I mean, you have older gentlemen that are working out there and, doing the things, they have great knowledge.
Yeah.
You shouldn't come in with the mindset that you're going to start questioning people or anything like that. You need to come in with the mindset of learning from them, and turn that around. I mean, if you're open-minded about learning, they'll teach you any shortcuts that they could find, the easiest step to read a tape
Yeah.
measure, or things like that. So, 5-year process. I mean, when I started as a laborer, it took me to be an apprentice about 2 years and a half. When you're an apprentice and you start taking more of the leadership, doing the oversight of your own
Right.
project and pretty much working directly with the foreman and, going by his directions, make sure that all working areas are cleaned out. Everybody in the job site, it's safe.
Yeah, all their safety equipment and PPE. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, you start getting more responsibilities as you start learning, the process. But at the end of the day, it all makes sense, and it just falls back in place where you're into in a straight path once you get to the job site, once you finish the project, and on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
go
was
for
gonna
it.
say, yeah, when you started as a laborer, was leadership something that you had your eye on, or was that something that came more naturally to you? Where in that process did you go from, because some of these guys, I mean, they're laborers for most of their lives, right?
Mhm.
So, or
Oh,
most of
yeah.
their careers.
Yeah,
So,
just because they don't know how to be a leader, maybe they don't want to be a leader or
yeah,
whatever.
or
Yeah.
did somebody tap you? Did you have a mentor? Or like how did that? Obviously, you were an apprentice, so you had a mentor of some kind. So, yeah.
Yeah. And there's different aspects of it. I mean, depends on who you're working with. Sometimes if you're an apprentice or even a laborer and you're working with somebody that doesn't really want to show you the ropes or doesn't want you to become better, they're always going to be tapping you back on the shoulder and telling you like, hey, well, this is not for you. This is where you need to stay. And here's a tape measure and then just do that thing.
Yeah.
If you stick to that mindset, I mean, you're always going to be a laborer, but you have to find your ways around it and try to, become a better person for that industry. It kind of took, my superintendent to be like, hey, dude, go post some notices. All I did was walk to the door, knocked on the homeowner's unit. I told them like, hey, I'm actually here to give you a notice because we're going to get started on your building, so on, so on, so on. And that just triggered me to build that relationship with the owner as we were going through the process of the reconstruction of his building. It kind of gave me a better understanding on how you could, make an impact on people. And
Yeah.
that's what kind of drove me into it where, I just saw this guy, we were going to get started on his building, give him a time frame and what to expect. And he was pleased with the overall turnaround of the project.
Yeah, you're kind of going from behind the scenes to that forward client facing aspect,
Oh, yeah.
which is more,
Yeah.
like the superintendent kind of role.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
yes. And I mean, once you get a little quick glance of what other people are doing, you kind of start getting the initiative to move on and, take more of a leadership or responsibility and so on.
Yeah. So what's your role now on a day-to-day basis? What are you doing?
Oof. Okay, so
How many of those leading edge hats are you wearing?
Yeah. By the way, I need one of those hats.
Yeah,
those
man.
are nice hats.
And the shirt too. Look at
Yeah.
that, man. The logo's sharp.
The branding
Yeah,
is
thank you
there
guys.
on point.
Oh man, there's we like what we put out is the image of ourselves. We're a family-owned business, so I'm working with my brother-in-law, his wife, my wife, close
That's
relatives,
awesome.
like cousins and so on. So we all have a mindset where we come into work, a focus, and this is what we're doing. These are our go-tos, and this is what we need to stay to. But once we're out of work, it's like we're the family.
All the family, yeah.
Action that happens and
Yeah.
everything. But branding is really important to us. You'll see our guys with their safety vests, all leading edge with sleeves, hard hats, even the trucks, they're branded out in the construction division. So yeah, that's really important to us. But
yeah, that hat is money. That's a good one.
yeah, I'll send you guys something.
Those are rad.
Care package.
Are they Carhartt hats? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
man,
we got some different colors, so
those are clean.
I'll send you guys. We'll stay in touch. But on my day-to-day basis, I go from 5 in the morning and up. Pretty much get to talk to my foremen first thing in the morning. Make sure that everybody's aligned with their jobs on the day-to-day basis. Make sure that they know who's attending to their job site. Right now, with the COVID situation, there's been a lot of protocols implemented throughout the industry. We have guidelines from the CDC and OSHA to follow, so we want to make sure that our guys are adhering to it. So that's like our number one thing to do in the morning. I get with my safety coordinator and make sure that he has all the document provided from the technicians out on field and pretty much relate that back to our project documents and back to the manager or the clients that we're working with. From there, move on to the updates, make sure that I know where I'm going to head out on a day-to-day basis. Any job site inspections, bid requests, production overview, make sure that we're, staying on top of quality and make sure that we're in between the industry standards. From there, sometime around noon to come back to the office, go over the emails and see how the office team is moving. And they've been really good about it. We work with a Procore system, so updates are being generated on a day-to-day, or daily logs are being turned into the clients. From there, move on into their overall production, make sure that our schedule's filled up for the upcoming weeks, make sure that we're on time with our bid dates, right? All the due dates on our bids, that we're on time. Invoicing is one of the key roles that I got to look into pretty much every day. Make sure that making sure
paid.
that man, it's difficult.
Chase that cash.
Difficult. Yeah, man, we have to, because it's just the operating expenses. How it is, it's just moving parts where something falls out, it just kind of creates a reaction, and we want to make sure that nothing's been missed. Reason why we're always transparent about the information we relate back to the client. That way, when the billing period comes in, they're not, pushing us back on why we're billing this way, why we're billing that way. They're getting a complete breakdown of our services that were provided, because we have a small maintenance division as well too that concentrates more on the go-dos, small water leaks, potentially leading to a major structural
right.
Or it's just a simple water sprinkler replacement, outlet, or things like that, where we want to make sure that the guys are accounting for the hours that they're putting in there to make sure when our billing periods are turned in, they're reflecting that back to back. Also with their larger scale projects, our clients are being updated on a weekly basis with the in progress, with the next task
phase in there.
The schedule, so on, where when we submit an invoice with the breakdown, we call it the AIA breakdown. It shows pretty much like an itemized list of components that we're working on and the overall percentage. That way, there's no issues once it comes back down to the billing. We're being all transparent with the clients, giving them all the information up front. Any questions in regards to invoices or change orders or things like that comes through me. After that, we'll go back to our accounting division and make sure that everything's back in place and
Caught up and
back to the client. So a lot of moving parts here on our end, but I feel like the team has a really good handle on the system and or flow chart. When we started, it was all missing pieces. Everything was being thrown all over the place.
Well, and I have to imagine that when you started, it was probably a lot of paper and email and kind of like,
yes.
hey, can you do this and check on this? And now you've got that technology piece, right? Which is kind of huge in this
Ties
industry
everything
now,
in.
being able to kind of track all that stuff for you from start to finish, inside, back, and front. You know what I mean? You're seeing it all, which is, I mean, you have to once you get to a certain size, right? I mean, if you're only running a job or two at a time, it might be pretty easy, but I have to imagine you guys got multiple and multiple crews out there all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Procore technology has been making a good impact on our end. And like I said earlier, our technicians are being certified in the progress, learning with us as well too. So any questions that they run into or concerns, they have, pretty much they have me and even our safety coordinator or administrative team to help them overcome those lessons or certification classes they're doing.
So you guys, it sounds like you guys are self-performing a lot of the work too, right? You're not a management company where you're subbing out stuff. You're actually doing all the work as well.
Yes.
So what is your labor size like? How many guys you got out in the field?
Right now out on field, we have roughly about 30 guys.
Wow.
We have roughly 10 running the maintenance side, but we're always, flexible, moving our teams around. And if we need more support in the maintenance section, we're able to pull some of the guys from the construction division and move them over, or vice versa. On the construction side, we'll pull some of those guys out and bring them into the construction. Area. But I mean, most of our technicians out on field, 10 guys, they work as a team. So typically they'll have a maintenance truck and 2 guys are set up on that, where they're able to do any sort of repair, any maintenance item from a roof leak to a water test, inspections, any fencing replacements, window replacements, any sort of a small repairs, they're able to tackle. So they're certified in overall systems, not just in one trade, but from doing plumbing to electrical to roofing, painting. So they have a good background, good skill set on hand that we're able to, show that and turn some of those projects into a good, relationship with the product.
So where are you being most successful finding guys like that? I mean, what is your training process like? Because I mean, it's not easy to just find a guy that can do that and hire him and he can start the next day, right? Or a girl, but So where are you finding people being most successful, and then also, what does that training process look like for you guys?
So our training process goes through a 3-month period. Pretty much whoever's coming in based on their position, if they're a laborer, if they're an apprentice, or if they have some sort of a foreman background, we're able to align them with our most seasoned guys. We have guys that have been with us over 3 years, 4 years. And we've been in the industry for quite a while that we get to know them to a personal level where we just tell them, like, hey, you know what, we're setting you directly with this new guy. We want you to teach him the ropes. We want you to do this. I also get to work directly on site with them. I get to throw them pouches here and there and hard hat, glasses, and get on with it, So, getting that hands on with the guys and see what their strong points are and what sort of, support they need to learn or to continue developing themselves. It's, on that one-to-one basis where I've seen some of the guys that come in and tell me they know it all. Once I take them out there, they see me working with them. It's like, okay, this is where you're missing. This is a sort of training videos I can show you. Maybe I could send you the manufacturer specifications, read over them. I have this job that we're doing. Let's go check it out. So we like to bring them in.
Yeah, very hands-on. It sounds like, which is
Yeah, and we try to keep a culture open-minded. I started not knowing much about the industry and little over time learning from everybody. I came to be the person I am now. So I tell them, hey, dude, if I was able to do it, you guys can jump on that too. So you guys are having, open opportunities shown to you and you're not willing to make that changes. kind of like what's going on, man.
Yeah, right.
Make sure that you guys are comfortable working with us, and we want to be comfortable working with you guys. So always be transparent. Tell us what you don't know. That way you don't fail down the road, or because I mean, they say you got to walk the talk. We want to make
Right.
guys are staying to what they're putting in their applications or their job experiences or so on.
Yeah. So where have you found the most luck finding people? Right. I mean, it's just hard right now. It's hard to find labor out there right now.
Yeah, it is difficult. Right now, we're mostly focusing on from to year. If any of our guys have a recommendation, we'll bring them in. Or sometimes we put like our job ads, and people will come in, work for 2 days, and just leave to another company because they're giving them a $2 raise, which for us, the training period, it's what's making the impact for them down the road. So tell them since the get-go, like, okay, yeah, we can meet those $2 or $3 or whatever the other company is giving you, but training programs that we have available for you that can actually make you $5 to $8 down the road. So give them 2 options and see whether they want to go right or left.
Well, those are probably the people you want too, right? Like people with the mindset like you had, right? That want to grow and want to advance and not just
And we're not always going to get all the, aces or anything like that, or the good
right.
We have to be able to work our ways around it and manage. I know that we have had guys are slow learners, but hey, we're there with them, guiding them through the process. So some people, some guys have told us that they feel overwhelmed because they're coming in fresh. They don't know. It's okay. I mean, we all feel overwhelmed. It's a process, and just go with it, man. If you're stressing out, if you feel tired because you worked too much today, let me know. I'm more than happy to give you a day off, or, go home early, get some rest, and whatever is necessary for you to feel refreshed and, with a good mindset and back in the job.
So how many jobs concurrently do you have going on all at the same time? Like you said, because you mentioned earlier that you're going out on the out in the field, usually in the morning till about noon. How many of those trips are you making?
We're talking about we have 4 superintendents, and it's myself and Rafael, 6 of us that we're doing the general oversight, and in between us 6, we're managing about a good 65 projects.
Wow.
Dang, man. 65?
Yes, and I mean, it sounds like a lot, but we have some that are small.
Some are smaller.
But it just I have to handle about 20 to 30. Then Rafael handles more. Then all the superintendents handle maintenance sections. So we're everybody's helping each other out. And if I have one of my superintendents around the job site that I need to go to, hey, give them a call. Hey, can you stop by here? Give me this information.
Check this out. Yeah.
Yeah, they know the overall aspect of the things that we look at, so they could generate a report based on the conference call, or just here. Now we have Duo on the phone. We're just same thing as what should we call it? The Apple or the video call, pretty much. It's just
or like you clicked like a walkie-talkie kind of thing.
FaceTime, kind of like FaceTime. We do it with Duo. Just get on the call with the guys, get an overall aspect of what they're looking at, give them direction, and they're able to give us that information.
That's cool.
So
that's nice.
And we have backup from our superintendents. If they can't back us up, or the superintendent's behind, we have our lead journeymen come in. So there's always that person behind each one of us that is able to fill in case we run into any other delays at a project, or we get caught in traffic, or X reason. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Are these projects like retention projects with specific HOAs where they have you kind of on a retainer and you kind of come out, or what's the makeup of that business? And probably just to piggyback off that, how are you getting new business, and do you want new business with that?
Definitely.
Are you guys? Of course, says the business.
We're ready to handle anything that comes our way.
Yeah.
I mean, in some associations, based on their size, if they're small, they have financial issues. With the reserves, we're able to work out phase out plans. So, once a year, they go to 2 to 3 buildings at a time. From there, some projects turned out to be, a 2 to 3 year period. Some of them were able to knock them down in 1 year based on their finances. We're able to, take on any phased out projects and assist them. So
Work with them, yeah.
Yeah. So priority basis, we like to go out there and do an overall inspection, and from there work out our plans and see how we could logistically handle all their items, their maintenance items, their firm maintenance items, and so on.
Yeah. And so we're kind of back to what Brian was asking. Where are you guys finding you're getting most of your work? I mean, obviously, it sounds like from a relationship standpoint, you guys are creating a reputation out there in the industry, but there still has to be, I would assume, some legwork done on creating those relationships or garnering that new business.
Oh yeah, I mean, we like to get involved with our clients, community managers, and so on. So one-to-one, talks, showing them about what we do, pretty much our progress. It's just kind of like referrals is where we get our most work. We do see a lot of movement on our LinkedIn account, so we want to make sure that all of our staff and everybody's in there. That way they could get to know and get familiar with our team, and that way once you start building that trust and that relationship is when things start moving more.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have seen it. I mean, myself, I used to be a construction manager. I work with many general contractors and homeowners associations and property management firms where, I started building up sort of a reputation, and little over time, once they find out I was working with leading age, they started kind of like reaching in and, giving, at least asking for some more information of the services.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So, and I have to imagine part of the branding, right, that you guys are doing and those kind of things are you seeing any return on that? Are you seeing that be kind of successful for you guys?
Yes, definitely. We have had situations where we're going to a board meeting and, owners out there are impressed about seeing the guys with their hard hats, their safety vests branded, their trucks. They have leading edge logos. They're green color, so they're really noticeable.
Stands out. Yeah.
Yeah, they stand out. And when we go to walk into those meetings, a lot of owners are giving us good feedback, like, "Oh yeah, we've seen you guys working out there. You guys."
That's cool.
They knew who we are based on the trucks and our appeal as well too, with the branding and so on.
Yeah, which is something kind of foreign to contractors, right? I mean, most contractors are just kind of like, hey, let's get in there and get the work done, and not really worried about it. But I mean, there's something to be said for looking a certain way and making sure that your logo's on everything so people know.
I think an overall appearance, it's a really strong key point to it.
Well, you look organized too, right? Like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Like the work trucks for the guys, we want to make sure that they're cleaned out, their tailgates are organized. We don't just want to be carrying garbage all over the place.
Right.
Show up to the job site and your shirts or your bag or safety vest is all painted from the last job, things like that. We tell them, this is your uniform, this is your appearance. Make sure that you're on top of it, because we're making an impact on this community. We don't want to be known for the contractor that comes in and just does whatever they want to do. And we want to make sure that we have guidelines set up from our office and to and what's being reflected out on field.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, I mean, to that point, the idea of presenting yourselves in a professional manner also speaks to the work that you guys are going to be doing, right? Like, so when you first show up on the job site or when you're bidding a project or presenting to the owner, it speaks volumes in terms of like, hey, these guys got it together. And so when you get out onto the job site, man. And then, and like you were mentioning, like guy comes in with a clean vest, right? Clean hard hat, all that stuff. They come in and they go and they get their work done. They do it well. And not only that, you're giving time off to guys that might need that break. So it just sounds like there's a culture internally that would what's the word? I want to say emote, but basically deliver that message of professionalism in such a way that the work gets done well, right? And so then you get that repeat business.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could just reach in and to all the people listening, all the contractors listening to the show and say, hello, listen to Ivan, man. Like, I mean, or just turn on YouTube, watch Ivan right here, man.
Yeah, check us out, man. But
So-
yeah, I mean, just making that appearance,
Yeah.
showing
And
up
on
here.
that, like the branding is one aspect of it, right? Like the other aspect is marketing. Are there things you guys are doing? Obviously, LinkedIn it seems to be pretty successful for you, but are there other social channels or other things you guys are doing to kind of put your name out there?
Right now we have LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. We're working on our websites, business card as well too. Pretty much our whole name was being rebranded, so we want to make sure that everything's being
Matches, yeah.
matches the same layout. So yeah, we have those three social platforms. LinkedIn is one where we're most actively looking into because we have all of our connections there.
I was gonna say that's where all your property managers and
Yes, yes, and I work with them.
developers.
Yeah, and I work with them. Over several years ago. So always to make sure that we have the same relationship, at least to say hi here and there.
Yeah,
It's always heartwarming, I would say. So
yeah.
from time to time they check in, and which is great, and we're always there to assist them any questions or concerns about their deferred maintenance items or overall repairs. We're on call.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So what's it like working with the family dynamic? How does that work out? I mean,
It's a little out of hand.
You got to say it's good, right? At some point, but
Yeah. It's great. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great. But like I said, once we come into the office, we'll have the mindset of or business professional standpoint. So we want to make sure that all the subjects are being work related. I mean, we do take our lunch here and there, get together, mess around and go out for a drink. Why not? But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, we're more focused about our jobs and to make sure that we're staying focused because once starts falling off, that's where things are gonna start to crumble. So we want to make sure that we're all backing each other up.
So when you go to family barbecues, is it all work stuff, or are you guys able to turn it off?
After a couple of beers, I just turned off. but I mean, in general, I think we like to enjoy our family time.
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays are for family, but if there's a need or if it does come up, then we just go about it. We
Right.
put a stop to it or anything like that. There's always a good subject to talk about. Pretty much that's when the ideas come in. So
Yeah.
we have
Right.
bonding time and go out pretty much.
That's fun, man. Very cool. So what's the future look like for you guys? I mean, is there growth outside of your current area geographically, or different verticals, or what's it look like?
Yeah, I think a little over time we're getting more opportunities on bidding bigger projects. So I think down the road we should be able to at least double on our workforce, and hopefully we could start bringing more people in. I mean, we always talk about being a big company that will make an impact on the communities. Pretty much that's what we want to look towards, and hopefully we're able to get more out of what we give. So little over time, we want to make sure that all of our technicians are certified and are to a different level in their own, lives or even so.
Yeah. Well, it definitely sounds you guys are on that road for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
got it
it's
together for sure.
Yeah. Very cool, man. Well, we appreciate the time. This has been awesome. I think you guys got a great thing going over there, and obviously you're looking awesome too. I mean, like I said,
Yeah, man.
I can't get over that
you.
hat. It's very clean.
I'll send you something your way. That way you guys could be sporting those out there.
We'll put them on during the next show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
Yeah, but before we let you go, we want to let you tell everybody where to find you. How do they get a hold of you, and how do they find you?
So yeah, I mean, LinkedIn, it's my strongest, background right now. Later, once the website is developed, I'll share that link with you guys.
Cool.
On LinkedIn, you'll have Rafael Wong or CEO. You'll find myself, Ivan Montano, as a VP of Operations. You will find our project team, Itza Ocaranza, as well too. Guillermo Wong, he's a cousin as well too. So he's one of our superintendent's project manager coordinator. We call him our go-to guy or number one guy to go to because he's always out on field, running from job site to job site, taking materials to the guys, giving us updates, calling homeowners, calling property managers.
It's all over the place, huh?
move. Yeah, and this guy, will give him a big shout out. But LinkedIn will be one of our go to right now. You guys will find us under Leading Edge Construction Services Inc. As I said, we're a family and owned and operated business. Working with the Bay Area, over 25 years of experience. Goes back with working with engineers, architects, property managers, construction management companies as well too. So yeah, Instagram as well too, under Leading Edge. We have a link directly that will take you guys directly from our LinkedIn into our Instagram.
Awesome.
And you can see our guys in action there, a little bit of light replacement projects, roof and replacement, painting, you name it. You check us out, you guys will see.
That's awesome.
Guys in action.
Very cool, man. Well, Ivan, it's been awesome. I think we look forward to watching you guys grow and what's going to happen in the future for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, right on, guys. Thank you guys for the
Thanks
game.
so much.
It's
Yeah,
been
stay safe out there, man. Have a good
talking
one.
to you guys. All right, take care.
Yep.
See ya.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you've made it this far, go ahead and give us a like or 5 stars or whatever means you like us.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. And check out our website for more video content and extras.
While you're there, shoot us a message if you want to be a guest. We'd love to have you on.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.